Welcome to round 9 of the NXTGEN Racing V8 Supercars Championship. Our globe-trotting drivers have finally arrived in Europe for the closing stages in the championship season. Our first European stop is the city of Barcelona, a city of much culture but also of current political upheaval, with Catalonia looking for independence from Spain. But all of that won't trouble our drivers, however, who have 2.89 mile layout at the Circuit de Catalunya to contend with today, along with a spot of Spanish weather as well. Hello and welcome to the live coverage of round 9 of the NXTGEN Racing V8 Supercars Championship, powered by Project Cars 2 and PlayStation 4, and presented by NXTGEN Racing and AC Broadcasts. Now, last time the double-header at Sugo seen action-packed racing aplenty, as well as a championship leader having to come through from the back of the field due to a qualifying ban. Yet Scooby G still seems to be on his merry way to the title as he further extended his lead despite starting 12th in both races. But despite the fact that there doesn't seem to be as much to play for up front, there is still a lot of championship battles going on through the field. And with a double points race at Zolder to finish with, don't count anything out from happening just yet. Today though, the main topic will be the weather, of course. It is pouring at our sim version of Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. But first though, before we go to the grid for the race itself, which we do start with a full 16 car complement, we need to go into qualifying first, and it was a wet qualifying as well. Now, would that spruce up the order? Well, to find out, we're going to take a lap on board with Whitford in the number 77 machine as we show you around the treacherous soaking layout of the Barcelona track. So here we are coming round the final corner to start a qualifying lap with Whitford down the long start-finish straight, one of the longest there is on the calendar here for the V8 Supercars. Coming into turn 1, hard enough to pick your braking point as it is, around about 150 metres down the gears into turn 1. A little bit of a puddle on the inside, which will get worse and worse as the rain carries on. Through turn through, and then through the long sweeping turn 3. In the dry, this can be a torture for the tyres. In the wet, not so much due to the conditions. And then up into turn 4, as you can see from the barrier there, the Repsol corner. Another long sweeping right-hander. It shallows out as you go through. Whitford with a little bit of opposite lock, and then quickly down the gears into the Seat corner. Turn 5, tight left-hander, second gear. Usually we catch the curb. Whitford's done that, but usually in the wet that's not what you want to do. A short burst into turn 7 as Whitford runs wide there into Wurf and through turn 8. And then getting it together, very good save as well as we come through Campsa. Normally quite a quick third to fourth gear corner, but in the wet much more treacherous. And then the run down the back straight towards La Caxia. The tight first or second gear, depending on your preference, hairpin left, and then a short burst up to the next left-hander where you can use a bit of the curb, and then the tightening right-hander at the top of the hill. You're going uphill and tightening, very tricky to get it right, but you can make a lot of time. Short squirt of the throttle and then into the Mickey Mouse section, next turn, the right hand turn, and then the chicane at the end of the track, which to be honest is completely molested the end of the track, so it was much better as it was. Through the final corner in New Holland, we need to watch for puddle build up there during the race, and that is a lap of the Circuit de Catalunya. So as you can see from that onboard lap, very wet conditions out there indeed, but after the qualifying ban last time round, it is a pole position for championship leader NGR Scooby G, and a really good lap as well. The only driver into the 1 minute 54s with a 54.7, making the difference through sectors 1 and 3. The only driver into the 40 seconds apart from the Farmier in 7th place. That stops the Farmier's run of pole positions as well. He'd done 5 in a row up to before this race. Second on the grid is the Czech driver Vidicas. Very good result there for him. Takes second of 55 dead, with RS Jim in third on a 55.1. Whitford, solid qualifying once again. We were just on board obviously there as well with a 56.2. Edu in fifth at his home race with less than 6. The Farmier in 7th with Satch in 8th. Ben takes 9th, and it was NGR Lager on his return back to the series after missing out on Sugo, who rounds out the top 10. Finishing off the rest of the grid, Andy takes 11th in the number 12 machine. Slidergas was 12th. Ropsky in 13th. 14th was Rico. 15th was a return for Martin. And 16th in the last, the only driver at 2 minutes, was the Dizzler, who was a filler for this race. We may see more of him in further rounds moving forward. But with qualifying in the bag, it is now time to head down to the grid. And does not look like a sight to behold. Now that picture, very deceptive, because I can tell you, you'll see in a minute, it does not look as dry as it looks there when you get down onto the track. But we are ready for round 9, the V8 Supercar Championship. Let's get down onto the grid. So here we are on the grid, and trust me, do not be deceived by the look. It is a very wet grid here at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona, and we're going to go and run through the grid in just a moment. But this proves to be a very interesting race indeed. The first full wet race that we've had this season, and let's take you through the runners and riders, because we do have a full 16 car grid, at least to start with, for this race. So starting in pole position after his qualifying ban last time out, the championship leader and champion elect, it would seem, NGR Scooby G, has the number 1 slot. He looks to be on his way to the championship. Can he continue that today? Second on the grid, a lovely performance from the 44 machine of Vidicas. He will be hoping to try and upset the apple cart, so to speak, and take a win here at Barcelona. Third on the grid is RS Jim in the number 1 machine, obviously still trying to fight his way in second in the championship and trying to keep up with the championship leader Scooby, but it does seem to be that he is fighting a battle for second along with Satch Edu as well. Fourth on the grid, another great qualifying performance from Whitford there in the 77 machine, starting to prove and show just how quick he can be in these supercars as well as other formulas as well. Fifth in the grid in the 29 extra machine is Edu. He'll hoping to avoid the grass cutting this weekend on his day race at his home track. Obviously Edu is obviously Spanish by descent, so this is a home race for the championship organiser. Sixth on the grid is the number 11 machine of the Les, and again a nice qualifying performance right in the middle of the grid almost there for him, and he'll be looking to do as best as he can today. Seventh on the grid is the Farmier, so the first time in 6 races that he has not been on pole position. Took 5 in a row, including both at Sugo last time out, so he is looking to get up the grid and make a difference here, but we'll need to come into some controversy in just a moment as well. Eighth on the grid is Satch 68, and again he is trying to fight for second with Jim and Edu, so he'll be hoping to try and get up the grid and get some points today. Ben is 9th in the number 15 machine, a nice performance there for him, and with a wet race, who knows what could happen today. The Lager Fanny is back. After missing last week at Sugo, he does return, the man himself, and he lines up 10th on the grid for today's race. And he takes 11th in the number 12 machine. He spoke to me beforehand, he wasn't too keen on it being a wet race. Not got a lot of running in wet conditions, so he'll be just trying to keep it on the track today and avoid spinning is what he's looking to do. Slidergas in 12th in the 78 machine. He was looking good last time out as well, so he will be looking to do much better again today and building that 4th place best finish of the season in race 2 at Sugo. Ropsky in 13th in the number 7 machine. He also had his best finish in race 2 at Sugo with 5th place after that last lap hoo-ha that's seen Edu go off, and he'll be hoping to take advantage of the wet conditions today. Rico lines up 14th in the number 3 machine, and he will be hoping to get up the grid today, but again, like Farmuir and like Satch, a little bit of controversy coming up, so I'll give you up to date and details on that when it comes. A return to the grid for Martin, aka Sub to Me Please, in the 37 machine. Good to see the flames back from that car, and he'll be hoping to do well today. And finally, last in the grid, a filler, a one-off possible appearance here for the 38 machine of the Dizzler. Not much known about this driver, and he qualified last on the grid, as we've seen when we went through all the qualifying. It's time to bring it to the front of the grid, and as is typical with Project Cars, the timing looks like it's broken, so you're going to have to bear with me when it comes to championship standings and leaderships. But we are on the grid with the lights on, engines rev, and we are underway at Barcelona. It looks like a decent start from Scooby. Everybody's sliding about, Satch is on the grass. And NGR Scooby coming down slide, and that slider gas sideways. He's been collected there by Satch at the back. Don't know what's happened. Scooby's lost the lead. Vidicaz is through. Jim looking to go around the outside into turn 2, but he's lost out, and Scooby G has lost the lead already. It's Vidicaz taking the lead from Scooby. Jim is in 3rd, Whitford, Les in 5th, Farmuir in 6th place by the looks of it there, followed by Edu, Lager, and Andy there in 9th, I believe, as we're trying to keep up. As I say, it's going to be very fun trying to do this for 19 laps, goodness me. But up at the front, Vidicaz is leading at the moment in time. We're going to keep going back. There it is, Edu going round the outside of Whitford. Both of them have had a relatively poor start. They've dropped back from their starting positions, so they won't be too happy at that. Les has also made his way up. He's having a go at Jim there, and Whitford and Edu still side by side. The Farmuir there trying to get by Edu, a little bit of a touch, nothing too much to worry about as they come up to the fast Campsa corner. Going through here, you can see the yellow banded Dunlops on these cars to show that it is the rain tyres. Got the band in here. And we're coming up to Lacaxia for the first time, and Farmuir's going for the inside. He's going up the inside, he's late in the brakes, he's spun, he's hit Les. Jim's off, Whitford's off, and Ben's collected him as well, as has Martin on the way through. And that is Farmuir down the grid and down the order as Ropsky goes through. There's Satch as well. And this is the controversy about we're talking about. The weather is taken from real life weather at the tracks on the day of the race, and Satch, Farmuir and Rico, part of Team SAR as they are known as, were unaware of this change, and they decided to drop out of the race after just the first lap due to that indecision, or as they seen it, due to the weather and unknown of it. So we've lost 3 drivers already due to that. Hopefully that won't be an issue for future races with any weather changes. But it was put up beforehand. It looks like Les has gone wide in the background there. I'm trying to get the right picture. There he is. Yes, Les. No, it might be Andy possibly. I'm not too sure. To say it's going to be very hard to keep up. A Lager fan, he's got himself up very well there. He is right behind Edu. So let's see if we can go through the order after lap 1, as we see Ben and Andy having a bit of a scrap there, just behind. I'm trying to skip to that just now. And it looks like Ben's got the upper hand on the Scotsman for the meantime, so that's a good move there from the 15 machine. Andy under the brakes trying to get back, but not able to do so, and he has got Martin right behind him, looking to get past as they come up to Wurth corner just before the Campsa corner. Yes, sorry, I'm getting confused with my corner names. Are very difficult, they're all after sponsorship. So let's try and go through the order. So Vidicaz has been passed for the lead just there. Looks like maybe got a bit wide. Scooby drifting his way through Lacaxia. So Scooby G back in the lead from Vidicaz. Edu is in 3rd. He is followed by Les. And then Lager is in 5th place, but Jim is going around the outside of him at the moment. Right the way around, you get some grip there in the wet. Looks like Lager's going to hold on for in the meantime. They've got Whitford behind, so it's Scooby, Vidicaz, Edu, Les, Lager, Jim, Whitford, Ben, Andy and Martin. That looks like to be your top 10, I believe, going through that. Look at 6 cars all in a one shot. 5-6 cars in a one shot everywhere. Ropski's there in the background. He's 11th. Dizzler just there at the back of the field in 12th. And Jim going down the inside here off Lager, and that looks like he might just get the move done. Lager looking to hold on round the outside for the inside into 2, but Jim has got the move done as he come through this sweeping turn number 3. Very long right-hander, very continuous on the car, and usually in the dry can really torture your tyres badly. It's like Ben having a wee look there at Whitford, trying to cut back to that, see what's happened there between those. Andy getting on the grass, just caught that there. And Lager's falling backwards there. Whitford's got past him, so Lager struggling here in the early going in the wet conditions as he has dropped back. He was up, and there's Martin running wide. Unsure what was going on there between him and Andy. It looks like Andy's giving him the place back just to be on the safe side. Unsure if he had maybe taken him off or not. And there's Ropski catching up. So Scooby leads, Vidicaz is second, Edu is up to third, so his rage places up. Les is in fourth, Jim is fifth, followed by Whitford in sixth. NGR Lager spun. He was in seventh. He's just ruined my attempts at doing the lap timing. He is round and he is dropping back through the field quite significantly there. That is slider gas there coming up behind him, and then the Dizzler as well. So let's try one more time, shall we, as we come on to lap 4. The top 3 all in the one shot. Excuse me. So Scooby G leading from Vidicaz, Edu is in third, Les is fourth, Jim in fifth, then it's Whitford sixth. We then have Ben in seventh, followed by Andy in eighth. He's got he's got Martin and Ropski behind him, 9th and 10th. Then we've got Lager in 11th, Slider Gas in 12th, and the Dizzler in 13th, and the 3 SART members, as they're known, as I say, the only retirees so far. Lap 4 it is then. And the biggest battle looks to be between second and third, between Vidicaz and Edu. We'll skip to the Les and just see what he's up to. So he's on his own at the moment. Jim is catching up behind. He's got Whitford behind him, pretty close. He's trying to keep up. Where is Ben? He's now on his own. And there's Andy with Ropski, so looks like there's been a few cars disappear from somewhere. He's lost a couple. Slider gas is there, so possibility. It's very hard to keep up with without the timing screen, so I do apologise if I'm going to struggle my way through this as best I can. But it is going to be extremely difficult to keep track of who is where in this race at all times. So it's going to be a hard one as we're following Slider gas at the minute. He went sideways and got collected by Satch on the main straight at the start. Unsure what happened there. That's Martin running wide there, sorry, into Lakaxia, but onto lap 5, and Edu just getting ahead. We just caught the end of that there, getting past Vidicaz, so that was a move for second place. So Edu now up to second with Vidicaz in third, going wide to get the line there. Les is fourth, Jim fifth, Whitford sixth. We've then got Ben in seventh, Andy's in eighth, Ropski's 9th, Lager is 10th, which is catching Eddie. He's off actually, he's well off, so he's not 10th anymore. So that gives the place back to Martin, who's now 10th. Slider gas is 11th, Lager now down to 12th, and the last is the Dizzler in 13th, tugging away at the back. Scooby's built up a bit of a lead here. What's been going on? These two fighting away. So Scooby's got a good few seconds. Look at this Spaniard getting it sideways coming through the Seat corner there. Great car control. Come back and see Les ahead. And there's Whitford and Jim. So that's 4th, 5th and 6th you can see on track. Next up I believe is Andy. No, Ben's in 7th, then it's Andy in 8th and Ropsky 9th. So that is the move there. And these two again, as always, as Andy gets a little very wide there. These two, as always, still together in the championship, separated coming into today's race by a mere 3 or 4 points before the start of today's proceedings. And it seems like once again, with only a matter of seconds between them, if that, on the road, that they are going to be fighting all race long once again. But coming through the final chicane, that Mickey Mouse piece of crap that it is, bring back the last 2 corners as it used to be, please. We have Scooby G taking on the lead, taking 1 minute 56 in the atrocious conditions here. You know what they say, never rains except in Spain and all that malarkey. And when it rains it pours as well. Edu, it looks like he's having to fight off a possible attack from Vidicaz. He's just keeping the tyres cool. Look at the spray. Unbelievable. We're going to go on with Vidicaz. I want to show you what the spray is like. So it's going to jump to the cockpit camera for the number 44 machine. There's the number there, and he's running wide through the turn 3 corner of Renault. I'm not going to be saying most of the corners because they're all named after sponsors. This is Repsol, as you've seen from the board, and you can see the spray ahead coming through. So it's not the easiest of conditions here today at Barcelona. But Vidicaz in 3rd, still holding on well. Jump back here, so Les is dropped back, so Whitford and Jim are now ahead of Les, so that's a move. Les has lost 2 positions there, and Whitford now up to 4th, Jim in 5th, Les now in 6th, Ben is 7th, there's Andy coming out of Seat in 8th with Ropsky in 9th, and I believe if we go back just a little bit more, yep, there's Slider Gas who is 10th I believe at this point, Lager in 11th, and he has got Martin behind him in 12th and a Dizzler in 13th. So managing to start to keep an eye on things a bit easier. But here it is, the leader Scooby G, and he's got a good lead over 2nd place, which is Edu. You can't even see him in the same shot there. They're just coming into the chicane now, so that's about a good 5-6 seconds between 1st and 2nd. This is the closest battle at the moment, it would seem, on track. The other one seems to be a bit between Whitford and Jim and Les, but they're not too close. This is the closest one. And we're just going to quickly jump back on board down the main straight. You can see Vidicaz pulling out to the right so he can see his braking points. Hard on the brakes into turn 1. And there's puddles building on the inside there. That's going to make it treacherous for braking. Edu's away, and Edu's lost it. Edu's spun and lost the place. Lost control coming out of turn 2 there. And he has lost 2nd place back to Vidicaz. So Vidicaz back into where he started in 2nd place. We caught it there live on board. And Edu losing a place there at that point. So not what he wanted to do at all on that lap, or indeed on any lap at all, of course. And there's Whitford. 4th place, solid drive so far from the 77 machine. Jim in 5th, keeping them honest though. Look at that lap time from Scooby G at the front, a 1 minute 54. No one else is within at least 1.5 to 2 seconds in the man. He is absolutely flying up front. We'll need to watch he doesn't get complacent though. That could happen. He doesn't want that to be the case. But Les there 6th. Ben just behind the 7th, keeping a watchful eye. So he comes through Campsa. There's Andy going wide again there, going through the Wurf corner. He's got a bit of a gap to Ropsky, so that's going to help him to stay ahead. So he's in 8th, Ropsky 9th, Slider Gas there 10th. NGR Lager is in 11th. Excuse me. And then we've got Martin 12th and Dizzler 13th. So not much change. You see Martin going wide there through Lukaxa. I think this is as good a time as any to take a quick commercial break, as it seems that one of our drivers, in fact, well, before we do, sorry, Edu is right behind Vidicas coming down the front straight. We cannot leave at this point. The advertisement is going to have to wait. Can he do anything coming into turn 1? Hard on the brakes. And Edu's round. That's a spin. He's on the wet grass. Can he get back? Jim's got through. Whitford's through. And Edu has dropped down. And there's Les off as well. In fact, there's a few more off as well, actually. Mayhem going on behind. Ben got wide too. That's going to allow Andy to catch up as well. So spinning all over the place. That rain, that puddle on the inside at turn 1 really catching people out. And that is not what you want to be happening at any time round here at all. There's Les wide again. In fact, he's really lost control there. Almost just getting on the grass. That's going to give Ben a run coming up to Seat. Will he be able to take advantage? Les has got the inside line. Hardenbright seen a nose dive there under braking. So that's dropped these two down here in 6th and 7th. Ben is right behind Les. So it's Scooby from Vidicas. Whitford should now be up to 3rd. Jim in 4th and Edu down to 5th. I'm just going to keep track of this for a moment. I've just seen Edu in the distance going through and heading through onto the next, heading up to the hill. And there's Les is really sideways here. Good car control from the 11. Keeps him behind. Very hard to take your eyes off this race, even with the inability to be able to see what is going on in any shape or form with the timings. It is still an exciting race to watch down the hill. Edu wide, Ben taking a really tight line, so he's got the right line through, and Les getting really, it's going to give Ben a good chance if he can take a run. But there's a puddle on the inside of that corner, he's going to need to be careful. No contact thankfully from either of them, but they're side by side down the straight. There's Andy, got a watching view of all of this. Ben pulling back in to get a bit of slipstream. You won't be able to see his braking point from there though if he's careful. He pulls back out. Hard on the brakes. And Les is still in position. It looks like Ben's losing a touch of control nearly. He keeps it together. There's Edu falling back again. So he's not had the greatest of laps. He's fallen back into the clutches of these two. Will Ben have a go into Repsol? He's looking for it. He's up the inside. He's hard on the brakes, but Les has got the corner. Gone covered off. We're just going to stick with this for another moment or two at least, because this is where the action seems to be. Les getting sideways there. Oh, he's nearly away. Quickly through the field. There's Scooby G at the front. Vidicas is still in 2nd, miles behind now though. Whitford is in 3rd, Jim is in 4th, and Edu is 5th. Les 6th, Ben in 7th, Andy 8th, Ropsky 9th. Slider Gas is no longer 10th, it's actually NGR Lager. Slider Gas now in 11th. Martin in 12th, and the Dizzler in 13th position. So here's Edu going back up the home crowd, the hometown favourite. You see just how much water there is. Absolute deluge here at Barcelona. It never rains but it pours, and that has proven to be the case today. Let's quickly jump to see where everyone else is. Now there's no one else close enough to anything here. Les there coming through the chicane. He's managed to get a bit of gap back to Ben, so it's going to give him a bit of breathing space as these guys come on to lap 10. There's Andy in the background. So coming into turn 1. There's Edu. Oh, Edu's round. Edu's spun. He's caught the grass. He's floored it. Les is round as well. Ben's round. They're all going round. What's going on? There's Andy. He's managed to get through. Oh, he's slowed down. Oh, he's not. He looked like he got through. Maybe fought something else. Les is pulled over to the side. Edu holds the position. There's Ropsky. And it all changed all of a sudden. three cars in the one corner, all going round on the same bit of track. Ben having to hold off Ropski now as Les getting sideways again. Unbelievable. That's completely shook the order up now. So it's still up front. It's got NGR Scooby G leading from Vidicaz, Whitford in third and RS Jim in fourth. NGR Edu still holds. No, he doesn't. Edu's off again. Edu is off one more time. Struggling in these wet conditions. He's lost a ton of places there. Goodness me, can't take your eyes off this action for a moment. I doubt we're going to get an advertisement break at this rate. Les is on the grass. Les is on the grass there. Can we catch it? He's just held it together. How did he manage that into Lakaxa? Unbelievable. He's still got a run on Ben as well. How's he managed? He's good in the brakes. He's later on the brakes than Ben. He's lost it though. And Edu's going to have a go up the inside. No, he thinks better off it. Goodness me. Action all over. Let's quickly do a recap. Coming on to lap 11 now. Scooby G from Vidicaz. Whitford got a good lead over Jim. Then we have... Oof, this is hard to tell. We've then got Andy up to 5th. Lager in 6th. Ropski 7th. Ben in 8th. Les is 9th. Sorry, Les is it's happening all the time. So 5th is Andy, 6th is Lager, 7th Ropski, 8th Les, Ben's 9th, Edu in 10th. Whew, I'm struggling to keep up with all of this. There's Slider in 11th, Martin's 12th, and the Dizzler has retired. Decided better off it. He was really running at the back and he would have been 13th, but he is now out. Goodness me. And look at this between these four. Les, Ropski, Les, Ben, Edu trying to go around the outside. Ropski's off into the gravel. He's lost 3 places there. That's a shame for the Belgium. Maybe outbraked himself. I don't know if there was contact. Edu looking up the inside of Ben. And he's got it. Ropski's actually lost another place to Slider Gas as well. Action is mental here. 5th place up ahead there. You've seen Andy and Lager 5th and 6th. So Les 7th, Edu 8th, Ben is 9th, Slider is now up to 10th, with Ropski 11th and Martin last as the runners. In 12th, your retirees are the Dizzler, who is running towards the back. You can see his last lap time was a 2:15. And we also seen first lap retirements from Rico, Satch, and the farmers. Edu late on the brakes up the inside. That was a brave move in the rain, but he's made it stick, and Ben's going to have the pair of them. Ben's going to have both of them here. What an opportunistic move from the number 15 cash show machine. That is brilliant stuff. And he's now up to 7th. These 3 nose to tail coming up to the end of lap 11. The leader's serenely on his way. Up front, still doing 1:56. His Vidicaz has had a poor lap, 2:04. I'm guessing he's run wide. Ben's wide there. Edu up the inside. It's going to be trouble. And Edu and Les again. Oh, and the Spaniard is off. That was always going to be trouble. Les waiting there. That's going to allow Martin to go through. Unbelievable stuff. There's Vidicaz, so he lost a bit of time somewhere. So he's got, in fact, Whitford's now ahead of Vidicaz, so we've missed that one on track. So NGR Skibby G still leads. Now from Whitford, with Vidicaz in 3rd and Jim in 4th. We've got Andy, there he is in 5th, we Lager right behind him in 6th. I don't know who's anywhere. Ben is 7th, yep, I can tell that one, that's good, excellent, that helped me. Ben's in 7th. Ropski did fall back. There's Slider Gas, he's in 8th. Ropski's 9th. Martin's 10th, Edu 11th, and Les is 12th. There we go. Whew, goodness me, trying to keep up with this is fun and games. Spit of flame from the number 12 and turning in really tight there. there's no time like the present. It's not going to matter anyway as Andy gets on two wheels. We're going to need to take a quick advertisement break. I'm probably going to miss about 3 passes here in some description, but we're going to take a quick 30-second advertisement because one of our drivers has decided to delve into the rental business, believe it or not. Take a look. Do normal car rentals make you feel like doing this? Then if so, you need to come down to Vidicars, the car rental specialist owned by Vidicaz himself. Come down this weekend and pick from our fine array of selection of cars and you will get an autograph from Vidicaz, the man himself. Vidicars, car rentals done better. Disclaimer, to rent any car you'll have to remortgage your house and sell your soul. And we're back, and you're just back as we catch Lager going past Andy there into turn 1. They had a little touch down the straight. He's got the 12 machine sideways and he's caught that puddle on the inside, so that is moved for 5th place just as we come back from that advertisement break. Oh my goodness me, you just can't take your eyes off of anything there. But yes, Vidicaz moving into Vidicars. And if you fancy a rental of something, and all you need is your soul and a shitload of money. But it is now lap 13 of 19. Not long ago, and these two fighting all over the place for 5th. And the Lager's got wide there, so Andy's going to get a run out of Seat. Coming up to Vurf. This is the corner where he's been getting it wrong, no, but he is ahead. Can he stay ahead? Yes, he can. So after losing 5th into turn 1, he's now gained it back into turn 8 and 9. He's Lager looking up the inside at Leclerc. That's a brave move if I've ever seen one. And he holds the position, but look at this. 5th, 6th and 7th, Ben getting into the action. Andy trying to hold the middle of the track. NGR Lager goes to the inside. Andy takes the racing line. Really wide though, he's on the curbing, and that's going to allow oh, goodness me. A little bit sideways there. Ben trying to be opportunistic again. He's done that already once. But Andy got on the power and the sideways couldn't get it under control. But that is Lager through into 5th, Andy now 6th, and Ben just behind him in 7th. Andy running wide there, coming down the hill and catching the curves all at the wrong angles. He's all at sea at the moment, the Scotsman. And ooh, catching that pun. Ben's sideways, Ben's round. Ben's caught that puddle, there goes Slider. So that's 7th place for Slider Gas, 8th goes to Ropsky, now Ben down to 9th, which is where he started the race, and there's Edu drifting through in 10th, Les in 11th, and Martin is back down to 12th, there's your running order. So you've got 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th all in a one shot here. Will Edu go for the inside? There is a huge puddle on the inside. Ben's wide, Ben wide again into turn 1, trying to avoid that puddle, missed his braking. That's allowed Edu through into 9th place. Les looks like he's going to take 10th as well if he keeps going. Action every single place you look. Lager's managed to pull away from Andy, who seems to have got a bit of a gap now, obviously with Ben having spun. And here comes that pack. There's Ropsky. He's the next one on track. Slider Gas is ahead of these 4, sorry. Up ahead, Ropsky's off. Ropsky in the gravel. Edu's gone past, Ben's gone past, Les has gone past also. 3 places lost for the Belgium. You won't be happy at that. Looks like Edu nearly lost it going into the left-hander there, sorry. Coming up through Lacaxia. Sorry, Campsa. And heading down to Lacaxia. So this is 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and then in the background 12th. Yes, so we've got 8th, 9th, 10th, and Les looking up the inside of Ben. Can he get the move done? No, he cannot. Ben cutting the corner. Edu's off again. Edu in the gravel trap. He's got back on, but he is now dead last, I believe, quite possibly. Yes. Down to last place now is the Spaniard. And Martin being a little bit scared with the curbs, but we'll let him away with it. It's his first race back for a while. Up front, Scooby G looks like he's untouchable almost. You can see Whitford in the background though. Seems to be a lot closer than he has been at any other time of this race. They're both set in 1 minute 37s. Solid race though from the 77 machine. No qualms from what he's doing. He'll be just looking to get it finished. So second place for Whitford. Jim's up to third. Vidicaz down to fourth. That's not what he wanted, Jet driver. His rental business might be doing well and taking money and taking souls, but he's not taking race places here at the moment, unfortunately. Looking back to fifth place for NGR Lager. That looks like there's Andy just behind. He's in sixth. He's got Slider Gas coming up behind in seventh. Then we've got, let's see, so Slider's in seventh. Anyone ahead of Les? No, so Les is eighth. Martin looks like he's up to ninth, yes. Rotsky's in 10th. Ben is down to 11th. And Edu has pulled into pit lane and has retired. I think he had another off and was right in the gravel, and he decided he had had enough of that for today. So we're down to 11 runners. Here's Scooby G. Not seen much of the leader again. He's just been out front doing his own thing. Not much he can do except just run his own race. But Whitford having a great race behind him, and the 77 machine's taking second at the moment. We did say Jim is up to third, and Vidicaz sliding his way through Repsol there in fourth. NGR Lager is in fifth still at the moment, and his best finish so far this year was a sixth place at the Dubai night race that we had, so he's on for his best finish if he can keep it there till the end of this race. Who is it that's just behind him? Is it still Andy? Yes, it is indeed Andy on for sixth place at the moment, but he's got oh wait, where did Slider go? Oh no, he's trailed back a bit. So, okay, so Andy's on for sixth at the moment, and that would be his best result. His best result was seventh last time out in race 2 at Sugo, so he's on for a good result as well so far. Slider is in seventh place, and he is on for a nice result. He's had quite consistent. An eighth, a fifth, a ninth, a sixth, an eighth and a fourth, so he's had just pretty much every place there. He's never repeated one of them so far, but if he finishes in seventh he'll continue that run as well. Incredible. So he's had 2 eighths, so he has repeated results. So he's in seventh at the moment. Then we need to figure out what's going on behind. Let's see if we can find. So there's Les 8th, I believe. Ben is somewhere. So we'll go back to Les. So there's Les, he's 8th. Martin's 9th. Rotsky 10th, and Ben's 11th. So there's your running order. And it just shows you how far ahead the leader is. The back of the field are just going through the Lacaxia. Sorry. I give up with these corners. Yeah, Lacaxia. Hairpin at the end of the back straight there, and he was already coming through towards Seat, so well ahead is our race leader. So he still leads from Whitford. Jim still in third. Vidicaz fourth. Press is shown from NGR Lager, who has avoided all the trouble and all the carnage. He's in fifth. And he's still in sixth, looking good. Slider Gas behind him in seventh. There's Les, 8th place. Martin's 9th. Ropsky 10th. And Ben, the last runner at the moment, 11th. Your DNFs. Edu has retired a few laps ago after one of a numerous number of spins, possibly to promote his new gardening business. You'll see that at some point soon, so be aware. The other retirement was the Dizzler as well, halfway through the race. He was running at the back of the field, had been a good bit off the pace and decided better off it. And on lap 1, the 3 SART team drivers, which is Rico, Satch and the Farmure, all dropped out due to a misunderstanding over the sim racing conditions and how they were going to be implemented. So that was a bit of a controversial moment to be said, but this man, he won't care. Come rain, come shine, he always seems to be towards the front. Listen to this for a run of results. First at Laguna Seca, second at Sonoma, second at Road America, second at Dubai, third at Bathurst, first at Rapagna, 7th at Sugo first race due to the qualifying cancellation that he had to deal with, and 3rd for race 2 at Sugo after starting at the back of the grid as well. Now I'm noticing from the timing here we're not going to get to see the last lap due to Project Cars' ridiculous save replay motions, so that's quite annoying because I know there's some good bits in the last lap as well, so it's really frustrating that we're going to miss out on that as we see Scooby deciding to do a bit of drifting. But this replay is going to cut out with a lap to go, which is really frustrating. So I'm going to have to leave it there, really annoyingly, and we will jump to the final race results and see who finished well. Yes, so annoyingly the last lap coverage cut short there due to the nature of replay saves on Project Cars 2, something I really wish that they would fix, but therefore we can only run with what we've got. But it was a win nonetheless for Scooby G. Now it's annoying we missed the last lap because he was showboating a bit and he nearly spun as well, cost himself a bit of time, but he was the only driver, as you can see, into the 1:54s for his race lap time. Second, and a great result, best of the season for Whitford in the 77 machine. We were on board with him for qualifying, started in 4th and he came home for 2nd, missing out on all the carnage going on around him. Jim came home and took a solid 3rd place. It's going to help him in his battle with Edu and Satch for 2nd in the championship, and Vidicas dropped 2 places from 2nd on the grid to 4th, but it's still a decent result for the Czech driver. 5th on his return after missing at Sugo was Lagerfani. That is his best result of the season in 5th, and another one with his best result of the season, 6th place for Andy the Scotsman, taking home 6th, and that's going to help his battle with Ropsky over their championship fight. Slider Gas came through all the melee for 7th. Les recovered from a number of incidents to take a very good 8th place on the table. Martin on his return after a number of races out was 9th, and Ropsky the Belgian rounding out the top 10. Ben, after a couple of incidents and running wides, came home in 11th. Edu was classified 12th, but he did retire on lap 13 after a number of offs, and your retirees were the Dizzler midway through, running at the back, and as mentioned during commentary, Rico, Satch and Farmure due to misunderstanding of the rule of the weather conditions. Now, unfortunately, due to my own computer issues, I am unable to bring you the championship standings on the screen, so I will give you some pictures to look at instead. I can tell you that NGR Scooby G now has a 116 point lead in the lead, so he looks to be on his way to being crowned champion. RS Jim moves up to 2nd on 220 points with Edu on 211. Satch drops to 4th on 210. The Farmure 5th on 185. Vidicas in 6th, gaining a wee bit of place, he's up to 175. And Les is in 7th, the Welshman, on 139. Lager moves up to 8th on 133, Slider 9th on 125. Rico, the Frenchman, rounded out the top 10 on 105 points. 11th is Andy on 93, Ropsky is 12th on 87 points, Whitford up to 13th on 85, so he's now getting himself right in amongst that battle to get into the top 10. And then Ben is 15th on 49 points and Martin is 18th on 40. Your other drivers in amongst them: Matthew, Sart Durities, Purple Twig, Portman and the Honourable George, who we miss. Come back because it's always fun, mate. Those obviously drivers haven't been in this race, they haven't been in races for a wee while, but they are still obviously classified in the championship. So that is it though for another week of As Live Commentary. As always, if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button. Comment below of what you enjoyed from it. I will put a disclaimer, sorry about some of the sound quality. I know some of it's going up and down. I'm trying to fix it and figure out what's wrong. But do hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any other races and events from myself. There is no race this coming Tuesday, so it'll be a week off, and then we will return with action from Imola at the Autodromo Enzo Ferrari in San Marino in Italy. But until then, my name is Andy, and until my next video and until the next commentary, I'll see you again soon. Ta-da.